In this video, I'm going to give you a free hit side for game week 21. Quite a few of you have asked for it, so for a bit of fun, I thought I'd put one together. Quite a few of the big teams playing each other, so maybe this is an opportunity, a time to play your free hit. Let's have a look at it. Hi FPL managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. So like I said, I've put together a free hit video for you guys. A couple of you said you're really interested. Few caveats, always wait until the last possible minute. Shouldn't need to tell you that because just a team news, there's players that you would not have possibly really have given a first team place to before now that are suddenly getting starting positions in the side, just rotation risks, injuries, all things, squads being stretched. So wait for that team news, leave it to the last minute as you possibly can before deciding on captaincy, who to bring in your side. With this team that I've put together for you, I've got 15 players that are all playing. I think it's important because, like I just said, of rotation. Can't be absolutely convinced about anyone getting absolute minutes. So 15 players going to be absolutely necessary. For that reason, you've got to spread the money a little bit more wisely. You might not agree with some of these, so wait until the end. I'm going to give you more and other options to have a look at. So don't forget, guys, if you enjoy the FPL content, hit that subscribe button, click on the like. Any comments, try to get back to you. Love to hear from you all. In the meantime, let's jump into it and have a look at it. I thought I'd leave this graphic up on the screen. Initially, I recorded this video earlier on today, and James Madison, I had a couple of Leicester players really targeting that Norwich team, that game for Leicester. But obviously that's been called off in the last hour or so. So I completely had to rehash the side, put another one together. So I'm re-recording this for the second time with a new free hit side. It obviously takes into effect, as you look on the fixtures on the sports screen, Leicester's game with Norwich is now not going ahead. It's a shame because that would have been a nice game for Leicester to target. Hey ho. Just to go through it, and we got the extra free hit. Remember, you might have used it already, but we'll have at least, most of us will have at least one less. So bear that in mind because it might be a double game week for 21. Most certainly looks like it will be a double game week for 22, so you might want to save your free hit for them. Fixtures to target, well, there's one game that really sort of stands out above all else, that really is Chelsea versus Liverpool. That could be a reason for a free hit, really. You might, like myself, got 5 assets playing in that game, which in all intents and purposes is probably going to be a very tight game, low scoring. It could just be that they're nullified. I've got 5 assets that are just not going to produce anything for me. So free hit, maybe I can take advantage of some differentials and the rest of the fixtures. Obviously, we've got to take into account rotation. The squad of 15 players that I have picked for you for this free hit takes that into account. I've got 15 players because I just don't know who is going to play. So many fringe players getting starts, other players being rested, injury suspensions coming in. It's hard to predict the lineups as opposed to a normal game week where they get a week off and a week back in. You're just picking your best players. That's not the case. Players getting rested left, right and centre. So that's an issue. But by having 15 players that are picked in this game, free hit, hopefully we're going to counter that and at least get 11 out. So let's go through it. And in goal got Forster. I think Newcastle at home for Southampton. They were pretty dogged against Tottenham down to 10 men the other day. They've only lost once at home all season. Newcastle, the fact that they have no St. Maximin, no Callum Wilson, I just think they're really going to be blunt up front. Southampton, pretty tight, it has to be said, over a calendar year, not in any circumstances. This year they have tightened up. Had a few rested against Tottenham as well. I think they'll be fairly fresh. I like Forster, he's cheap. Home to Newcastle, I think it's a good opportunity for a clean sheet. Not by any stretch of the imagination am I saying he's an absolute non-negotiable. You could go elsewhere, I would absolutely understand that. For me, Forster, I quite like him. We've got Maguire, and then I'm doubling up on Manchester United defence. Alot as well. He was rested in the game against Burnley. So Maguire and Alot don't offer a great deal going forward, but Wolves so goal shy as well. I think it's called 1 in the last 6, something like that. I just feel that Man United should be able to keep a clean sheet there. So I'd like to get on top of those. Target away at Brentford 4.7, a good differential, low price away at Brentford. I think Villa much improved under Steven Gerrard. Potential getting forward for target as well, like that. As we said before, Southampton fixture, Bednarak in the centre of that defence, 4.4, really cheap defender. Quite like him. He has scored as well this season. And Kufau, West Ham, great attacking potential. Again, that's quite a cheap defence across the whole of the board. Most of those expensive defensive assets are already engaged in Arsenal, Man City, in the Chelsea-Liverpool game. So therefore, you're sort of picking off the rest of them. But that cheapish defence, I think, really enables you to go mad a bit in midfield. I've said that Bowen, absolute legendary he's been this season so far. Top assister in the Premier League. Better than Salah. 3 of them in the last game at Watford. West Ham just scoring goals for fun, even in defeat. So Bowen for me is an absolute must-have at that price. Then we come on to the Watford game, where Tottenham are going to target. I've got Son and Moura. 10.5 Son. He's expensive, but nailed on. Moura got a rest in the last game. Expect him to be a favourite under Conte so far to be playing this game like that. Likewise, Rafinha, the main man at home to Burnley. You really think this is a huge game for Leeds. You don't really know what side they're going to get out there. Rafinha on pens. Everything goes through him. Majority of his goal involvements are goals. That's always great news for us as a midfielder. So he's in there. And then Gray, they have some great fixtures coming up. At home to Brighton, Everton, 5.5. Really cheap. I like it. I think big game for Everton coming up as well. Up front then we've got Cristiano Ronaldo off the back of his goal and assist tonight. He's up front. Harry Kane as well. Gone all in on that sort of attacking front for Tottenham against Watford. Watford just looked, well, just really susceptible at the back against West Ham. So Kane, I think, looking back to what we know he can be, looked pretty deadly, even being offside the other day. But he's on pens as well. I think 12.2, he's got it. That's a lot of money you've got invested up front there. And Antonio as well. So really strong up front. You've got a really strong attacking side here in this whole team. Looking at the whole thing, Sondergaard in goal, just the absolute cheapest goalkeeper there is to keep the budget at about 103. There are other options if you can stretch to more, or get stretched to less, because we'll all have a slightly different budget. But I really like that side. You've got a bench. I mean, I think I'd possibly, if I had to say, I'd probably put Bednarek, Gray on the bench, and then maybe it would have to go along the lines of possibly Rafinha, maybe Target. But you just don't know who's going to make the side, who's not going to play. I think that's a really nice side. I really do like it. Other options, Bruno Fernandes. I don't think he's a great option as a long-term player, but as a one-off fixture against Wolves, he's going to be fresh. He's going to start because he's already been had that rest. I think 11.6 is a lot, but I do think he could get some return. So I wouldn't rule him out as an option. If you wanted to put more money into that defence, you'd have to take a Spurs asset out. But Reguilón, again, he got a rest 45 minutes at Southampton. Potentially attacking going forward. Look a lot stronger at the back. Tottenham, Reguilón, I think is a nice option. Calvert-Lewin, I like him. Only thing I'd say is he hasn't had a lot of football. So how are Everton going to manage him in? And lastly, Watkins away at Brentford. Another player that just gets 90 minutes every week. I think he looks really good. Overall, guys, lots of different options. I quite like that wildcard side. You're restricted because of the fixtures this week for a lot of the big names, but so many differentials in there. I hope you found that useful, guys. Let us know in the comments below what you're going to do. Are you going to free hit? Who are you going to bring in? Click that like button. Make sure you subscribe for more great content. In the meantime, good luck. Speak to you soon.